Zaten bu ekran kanatlandı. Bu başladı. Yine fakat vardı bunu dedi. Anladın mı? Şeyde bu şeyde. Birincisini yapınca. Anladın mı? Ha. Sen nasıl yapalım? Hayır, bu çalışıyor.
Abdulhamidovani, 7-ci Mo'jiza Yigitalievani va 8-ci Umar va Feruzalarni taqdimotlari, ya'ni Diplom malakali ishni himoya taqdimotlari bilan tanishamiz. Sizlarga muvaffaqiyat tilayman. Shu kungacha kelganinglar bilan tabriklayman. Ilohim muvaffaqiyatli o'tib olinglar. Sizlarga reklamingiz bo'yicha 10 minut vaqt beramiz. 10 minutda taqdimotni qayerda aniq qilib taqdimot qilib ishinglarni so'raymiz.
Good morning, dear teachers and fellow students. Today, I would like to present my graduation qualification work. First of all, thank you to give me such kind of chance to present my work. My work topic was the importance of teaching listening at school and using text as a tool. All we know, listening is widely recognized as one of the fundamental skills in a language and teaching. I chose this topic because listening is one of the most important language skills. Also, students spend much of their time listening, and they feel difficulties to understand spoken English. Therefore, teachers need effective methods to improve listening comprehension, and using text is one of the best ways to achieve this. Why listening matters? Why listening matters? My main aim of my research was to investigate the importance of teaching listening in secondary school and examine how text can be used effectively during listening lessons. Listening is not simply hearing words; it's about understanding, responding to spoken language. There are two main learning process: bottom-up processing and top-down. The first is bottom-up. It's where learners recognize the sound, vocabulary, word, and grammar. In top-down processing, students use their background knowledge and context to understand the speaker's message. Successful listening connected with both processes. During my research, I found that students face several difficulties in listening. The first problem is the speed of speech, because native speakers speak quickly. The second problem is limited vocabulary. Students often face unknown words in written form, but they cannot also hear them. Another challenge is lack of visual support, because unlike reading, students cannot easily repeat or reread the spoken language. These difficulties reduce the students' confidence and motivation. In first slide, I solved two below problems. Teachers can use different types of text. For example, authentic text and pedagogical text. The first type is authentic text, such as news, podcasts, broadcasts, and etc. Maybe interviews or real conversation. This exposes students to natural English. The second type is pedagogical text, which are specially prepared for language learners and contain appropriate vocabulary and grammar. Both types help students improve listening comprehension and communicative competence. One of the findings in my research is every listening lesson should include some methods. For example, pre-listening, while listening, and post-listening. What is pre-listening? Pre-listening is the teacher introduces the topic for their students and teaches new vocabulary, grammar, and background knowledge. Second one is while listening. While listening is a student complete activities such as multiple choice questions, true false questions, gap filling, etc. In post listening, students summarize their ideas, discuss the topic, and produce the correct response. Finally, this three-stage make listening lessons much more effective. And research methodology. The practical part of my research carried about the secondary school English classes. I organized experimental group and lesson using text-based listening activity. Then I compared student results with traditional listening method. I analyzed both students and scores and their classroom participation. During the experiment, students completed several practical listening tests, exercises. The first activity was gap filling. Students via listen and complete missing words. The second activity was information transfer, where students fill it in tables or diagrams while listening. The third activity was dictogloss. Students listen a short text and in groups they should reconstruct it. As a result, the experimental results were very positive because students who learned through structured text showed better listening comprehension and remembered more vocabulary. They also became more confident and participated more actively in their classroom. This research proved that teachers carefully selected texts help students overcome listening difficulties successfully. In conclusion, based on my research, I conclude that listening is one of the key language skills and should receive more attention in English lessons. Using text as a teaching tool make listening easier and more interesting and less stressful for students. I also recommend that English teachers use more authentic digital materials together with structured classroom activities. In my point of view, and in short, my graduation qualification paper shows that teaching listening at secondary school and through text improves student listening comprehension, vocabulary development, confidence, and communicative competence. I hope my research will be useful for teachers and future researchers. Thank you for your attention, and I will be happy to answer your questions.
Okay, thank you, Abdullah. You have a great presentation and you did a great job. But there are some questions with me while you are having a talk, while you are having a presentation. I have some questions for you. First of all, when you are mentioning about the masses, yeah, you mentioned the masses, okay. So which masses that you used in your experimental part was so successful?
Thank you, teacher. As a teacher, I worked last year, and I teach 4th and 5th grade students. I use a pre-listening method because they don't have any ideas about the topic. At the beginning of the listening task, I introduce them about grammar, structure, and new vocabulary, and word building.
Which one is so successful in your experimental part? Successful one. Just invention.
Pre-listening. For me, also pre-listening is successful method.
Pre-listening is this method. These are the stages of the having a lesson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pre-listening. Okay. I'm mentioning here the method. What methods did you use? So you use some role play, yeah?
Group work, group work, and dialogue. Dialogue didn't make work in pair. It's also successful. Maybe one of the best way is group working because students feel themselves confident and more successful.
Okay. Next question for you. So here in your slide, you mentioned about the scaffolding. What is scaffolding? Yes? Scaffolding. Okay. Okay. What is the difference between the authentic and pedagogical path?
Pedagogical and maybe hands-on materials. Authentic materials is audio or video. Real life conversation.
Okay. Thank you. So I guess the questions are enough. Thank you. Congratulations on your good presentation. Thank you all for that. And next one will be the Masula Izdaşova. Masula, hello.
O yemen sayılmam Assalamualaikum. Good morning, our teachers and honorable members of committee and dear teachers and students. First of all, thank you for your giving me opportunity to present my graduation project. And my name is Aziza Jamaldinova. Today is a crucial day for me because all of learning process and also step by step learning and now I present my work, and my work is the same, using real materials to improve students' motivation, confidence, and performance. It's a very interesting topic, not only students, but also for teachers and also other students. And nowadays, English is academic subject, not all academic subject, but also an important skill for education and career development and international communication. Because of this, teachers need more effective teaching methods and prepare students for real life situations. And in my research, I focused on how authentic materials can increase students' motivation, building their self-confidence, and improve their English language skills. Before I begin, I would like to talk about some mini situations. The situation is about, have you ever met a student who know English grammar very well, but feel nervous when speaking a native speaker? This situation is about several questions. What does this happen? Students' knowledge is poor, or your students need to have self-confidence or self-motivation? And is the problem a lack of knowledge, or is it because students have little experience with real life English? Today, I will try to answer this question and my research findings. And for many years, English has been taught mainly taught traditional lectures and textbooks. However, this approach doesn't fully meet the needs of today's learners. Most textbooks examples are simple and different from the language pupils use every life. As a result, students may understand grammar rules, but still have difficulty communication in real life situations. In addition, deeply on textbook exercise and increasing speaking and engaging and reducing students' confidence. For this reason, my research suggests using real materials to make language learning more practical and meaningful and engaging. Our teachers and the research, Alex Gilmer, I guess, and also this slide introduced many scholar researchers, and he is the renowned British linguist who has done important research and authentic materials and language teaching. According to Gilmer, students learn English more successfully and when they exposed to real language instead of textbook examples. His ideas become theoretical foundation of graduation projects because they already explain why authentic materials improve connection skills. And also, they believe there is gap and the language uses textbooks and language people use everyday life. Why we use authentic materials? Because students learn native language speakers and also some short dialogues. We use using real material, authentic materials, and we can see podcasts, dialogues, and short videos, and also articles, and we use all of the real material, authentic real materials, and use not only English faculty, but also other faculty, geography, historical, and also science. And how can use an authentic real life material? For example, if we have geography faculty students and we use some geographical articles, and both of them the students learn and also article meaning and useful furthermore, and students learn in English, both of them.
And this is tell us the main points, okay? So
Okay.
if you're limited.
Okay, and furthermore, psychology foundation and motivation analogy and authentic materials have positive psychological effects. When students understand the purpose of learning, they become more motivated. Real life materials and also some authentic materials such as videos, podcasts, and also new articles and online courses. And activities and active social science. Students can practical in debates and academic topics, analyze psychological case studies, and discuss demographic change and international issues. To conclude, authentic materials play an important role in improving students' motivation, confidence, and language performance. They have learned connect classroom knowledge and with real-life communication. I believe the teachers should use authentic materials more often because they prepare students' academic and personal and everyday communication. We can see slides in the several parts of and what can use as real life materials for social science students learning. And we can see international journals of academic science and psychology, social, and
Okay. So
and I believe authentic materials during the lesson. The lesson is very interesting, and also students improving motivation. Why I say motivation? Because our learning process is beautiful. That's why, and the students need to sometimes step up, and also in the overall, and I sincerely appreciate your time and time to listen. If you have any questions, I will be happy to answer them.
okay, thank you for your great presentation. Thank you, Azina. You did a great job. So let's go to the questions and answer part. So, okay. Do you have questions? Okay.
Okay,
Then Madam,
what are the benefits of using authentic materials in terms of higher education? Let's count them and give some examples.
It's very useful higher education because the government of Uzbekistan has made plans for higher education is gives more opportunities. For example, students study abroad, and also planners and the 30th century in Uzbekistan educational planners, and also beneficial for other countries, university students. As a result, our students and speaking native language speakers. That's why we must use authentic real materials in the lesson.
okay. So we have another question. And Ms. Fargo, have a question?
Thank you so much. But I would like to know your idea about the authentic materials and semi-authentic materials. The first question, how do you see their difference? What is the difference between authentic and semi-authentic materials? And the next question, what is the purpose of using them in the classroom? Which one do you think is better and beneficial for the teacher and for the students as well? Authentic or semi-authentic?
Thank you, teacher. And authentic materials is the one I use in the classroom and in the one problem. Authentic materials, different levels, and also students' levels is different. And that's why I try to learn first of all students' learn level, and then I use how can authentic materials is usable for students. For example, and then
What is the difference between what is authentic material and what is the semi-authentic material?
authentic materials I know in the podcast, some podcasts and short audios, and semi-authentic materials. For example, and we can see some pages and also in authentic materials, and we can see authentic materials in subtitles, with subtitles.
Can you find semi-authentic material directly in the internet source? In the internet. Can you find them directly in the internet? Semi-authentic material.
Semi-authentic materials, yes.
So actually, authentic began non-authentic.
Authentic materials, what
What does it mean? Authentic, what does it mean? What does it mean?
authentic materials is
Yeah, real
life,
No material.
real life materials.
So authentic is the real life.
Yes.
In this case, what is the semi-authentic?
Semi-authentic.
Okay, and then semi-authentic materials, and also we can see authentic materials in a native get feeling maybe, and yes.
The authentic material, what they create, it's not the authentic material, what they create, it's not authentic. It means semi-authentic material.
Thank you.
So they can change some words. For example, they can change C1 word to
Yes.
the B2 word.
Yes.
So, but still, it is on the base of the authentic material. They just adapted to the software.
I understand. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. I guess it's enough here for Anita. We have 4 questions for her. Thank you, Anita.
Thank you so much. Thank you, teacher.
Okay. And next, volunteer. Okay. So, next presenter is Salvador Hayafan. Okay.
Good morning, respected teachers and my dear roommates. My name is Maya Tolabayba. I would like to my graduation qualification work. My topic is teaching different age groups, using visual aids as language course. This resource explains how visual aids improve language learning for children, teenagers, and adults. Today, visual aids play a very important role in language teaching because they help students understand new information more quickly and remember it for a longer time. However, when teaching method isn't suitable for everyone. Children, teenagers, and adults learn differently, so they need different types of visual methods.
The significance of this study is that visual aids commit grammar with real-life communication and make lesson more interesting. The main goal of my research was to identify the most effective visual aids for different age groups. To achieve this goal, I completed several tasks. I studied the psychological basis of visual learning. I classified visual aids into traditional and digital types. Finally, I compared learning outcomes among children, teenagers, and adults. This research is based on important ideas. The first is visual learning, which means students learn better through pictures and images. The second is the real building theory. It explains that combining words with pictures improves memory and understanding. The third is engagement. Visual aids improve reduce language anxiety and increase students' interest in learning. Visual aids can be divided into three groups. Visual aids, traditional visual aids include flashcards, real object class, posters, and whiteboard class. Digital visual aids include PowerPoint presentations, YouTube videos, interactive whiteboards, and infographics. Graphic organizers include means maps, Venn diagrams, timelines. These tools help students organize information clearly. Now let's look at young learners between the ages of 5 and 11. These students are curious and energetic, but their abstract thinking skills developing. The most effective visual aids colorful flashcards, smartphones, and toys. These materials create a fun classroom environment and help children learn vocabulary faster. Teenagers age 12 and 18 are interested in technology and social media. They can lose attention quickly, so lessons should be interactive. The best visual aids for them are memes, movie clips, educational apps like support of Quizlet and social based activities. Quizlet and social media, these materials increase motivation and connect grammar, English with students' daily life. Adults have different learning goals. They are practical, logical, and usually study English for work or higher education. The main visual aids include business cards, math, professional diagram, and outfit materials. For the practical part of my research, I observed 3 different types of Indamaya. I used classroom observation and comparative lesson tests among 12 and 18 ages students. The main test was to compare student participation, response time, and learning. The results were very positive because student engagement increases by nearly 19% engagement. Visual aids were used. Students also remember 14 more vocabulary after 1 week compared to classes without visual materials. The research also shows that students needed less translation into their native language because visual makes meaning clearer. Visual aids are an essential part of modern language teaching because they increase motivation, improve understanding, and help students remember. In information more effectively. Different age groups require different visual materials for teachers to then careful according to learn to meet. Thank you for me presenting.
Okay.
Question?
Thank you for the presentation. I love your presentation, you know? Why? Your slide was so easy to understand, so it's well organized. Okay. Mukhayo. For Mukhayo, do you have a question below the teachers? Any questions for her? Okay.
One of your subchapters names advantages of using subtitles in language learning. Could you clarify this subchapter? Advantages of using subtitles. Subtitles while learning language. What kind of advantages? Could you give some examples of that?
Okay, thank you for the question. Today, visual aids is playing a very important role in language education because students understand how teachers and students orada guruhlarga qaraganda bu ma'nolardan foydalanib darslarda ishtirok etgani o'quvchiga ham o'qituvchiga ham foydali bo'ladi. Ijtimoiy o'sha ham interaktiv qiziqarli, interesting o'tadi, ham vaqt tejaydi, ham oldinimiz kamayish hisobida. Masalan, rasm orqali bitta gaplarni qo'llash orqali rasm orqali tushuntirsa ham vokabulari oshadi o'quvchini.
I think you have, huh? Okay, I have also a question. So should I speak in Uzbek or English? Okay. Suhbatni topishingizda yangi noizalarni psixologik xususiyatlari, karakteristik haqida nimalarni bilasiz, gapirib bersangiz bir. Ikkinchisi, dual coding teoriyasi haqida gapirib o'tsangiz, yaxshini aniqlashtirib tushuntirib bersangiz.
Thank you for my question. Although Charlie was someone that ishlaydigan dual coding theory nazarda bu o'sha teaching different groupda nazariyatda ilgari surilgan ekan. Bu nazariya inson omilida o'sha bosh miyasini qabul qilish nazariyatida juda muhim hisoblanar ekan. Bu ham so'zlar va tasvirlar orqali bog'lansa, o'quvchi yoki o'rganuvchi ikkala so'z va tasvir bilan birga kelganda o'sha yetkazib beradigan jarayonni mutaxassislar yakunlashadi. Shu tamoyilga asosan insonlar tomonidan yaratilgan barcha nazariyalar dual coding teoriya hisoblanadi.
Yaxshi. Ikkinchi savolga javobingizni bersangiz. Psixologik xususiyatlar. Qiziquvchan bo'ladi degani.
O'sha psixolog tomonidan o'quvchilarni ichki nazariyatiga tasdiqlagan, ichki xotiralariga. Chunki
bolalar
qiziquvchan bo'lishadi, kattalar hamma interaktiv o'yinlar tashkil etilsa, sizga orqali
aktiv bo'ladi. Thank you. I guess it's enough for her, right? So, congratulations. Next volunteer will be
o'zi professional bo'lyapsizlar, degan mana qo'mitaga e'tibor beramizda, bo'larchi ham shunaqa bo'ladi. Ertak aytib bermayapsizlar yoki boshqa joyda. Ertak aytmayapsiz. Bor ekan, yo'q ekan, boy bo'lgan ekan, bu kambag'al bo'lgan ekan. Yaxshi bo'larkan, mana bu yomon bo'larkan. Ertak aytmayapsizlar. Sizlar o'zingiz o'rgangan mavzuyni doirasida bilə u gəlib çıxılayapti. Şunun üçün ekan erta yaxşı yo'qotadi. Tushunarlimi? Shunaqa bo'lgan, mana bu oldin mana shunaqa ta'kidlagan. Men shunaqa taklif qilaman, men shunaqa o'ylayman. Tushunarlimi? Biz bunga e'tibor beramiz. Shaxsiy o'zi ilmiy nutqga o'tamiz. Erta qoldidan kechamiz. Tushunarlimi?
Tushunarlimi?
Erta hikoyasi bermayapti.
Keyingi tadqiqotimiz Dilnoza Abduhamidova. Reglamentga rioya qiling. Dilnoza 10 minutga vaqt beriladi. 10 minutda yozib qo'ying. Sizlar 2 minut, 4 minutda qo'limni to'xtatib turaman. O'shani tushunib olinglar. 2, 3, 5 minut qoldi deb turaman. So, ready? You can start. Good.
Good morning, dear teachers. My name is Diplom, and my research work is topic is methodology for enhancing English vocabulary acquisition through digital platforms such as Diplom and my scientific supervisor is Samantha Shredovich. And turning to the introduction for my research, I'm going to mention some challenges that every single teacher today is going to face in the classroom. This is the vocabulary acquisition. Vocabulary acquisition is students learn vocabulary for a test, for example, on Friday, and forget by Monday. And this is the most common problem among especially secondary students because they are a bit younger to understand some kind of logic behind it. And this is the critical barrier to communicative proficiency in English among secondary students. The second one is my research aligns with the strategic alignment for Uzbekistan's digital Uzbekistan 2030 strategy. And for this, we have to move from the traditional methods of learning from some kind of writing down vocabularies or copying from blackboard or using some kind of text. Instead, we have to move on to the MALL. This is Mobile Assisted Language Learning. And the platforms that I have chosen is integrating quizzes for practicing or for learning vocabulary for the long term. And in order to assess my students how they have learned, this is the program is coupled. So I have my research aims and objectives. So the first aim is this brings out the core aim of my research to scientifically investigate the effectiveness of these platforms to develop complete actionable methodological recommendations for English teachers in Uzbekistan. To achieve this aim, my work was divided into 3 primary parts. The first one is establishing theoretical scope by analyzing the history of digital learning and the psychology of the gamification. And second is developing a practical hybrid methodology. And third is conducting a rigorous pedagogical experimental to empirically prove the validity of our proposed research or proposed methodology. That's why I chose
the school number of the secondary school to conduct a research.
So my
No, I know you're a good researcher. You did a great. I know you did everything over by yourself. I know. That's why please tell us the main point. What did you learn from this research? What did you do? Just ask enough for us, okay? Don't read them, okay? Tell us the what you have. What did you do, okay?
Okay. So my first part of diploma work is about the evaluation of computer-assisted language learning. There are 4 stages. In the first stage, like behavioristic stage, this is the first part, the starting point of the using computers during the classroom, and on that time they have used it just for drills and practice. This is for just memorizing something until it is some kind of automatic on our brain. In the second stage, like communicative stage, people have started using computers for much more like better aims, for example, for problem solving or such kind of things. And the integrative stage, they have started using the computers or mobile tools fully in classroom. But now we are in the mobile assisted language learning era. It means the technologies are in the students' pockets. It means that they can use whenever they are on the bus or at their home, and this is the best way to fight the forget. So in the cognitive acquisition theory, like the first part is the input and multimedia encoding. This is the input hypothesis providing comprehensible input, and dual coding theory processes visual and verbal simultaneously, reduces cognitive load. What does it mean here? Like, students tend to learn more or tend to remember more when they see and when they listen the things at the same time. And this is what the Quizlet gives us, because in Quizlet with digital flashcards, the students can hear the correct pronunciation and can see some kind of pictures related to that vocabulary. And in the involvement gamification, like deep learning occurs through needs, research, and evaluation, and reward repeat. One of the best advantages of the Quizlet and Kahoot, this gives the instant result for the student. For example, such kind of competition gives the students dopamine, and this can remind the students that the brain reminds the students that this information is important. They have to remember it. And even just this dopamine chemical helps them to remember something for the long term. My chapter 2 is for platform capabilities. The first part is the Quizlet, and the main part for this is algorithmic repetition. The Quizlet doesn't give that randomly words for the student. It has the spaced repetition system. It means that like the program gives the students the words that they have a reason. And in the Kahoot real-time assessment, this pushes output through gamified time-structured measurement. Post-game data analytics provides formative assessment for the users. And this is going to be somehow easy for teachers. Instead of checking tons of papers after the class, they see the exact result and they can realize that what to teach them.
With the help of Kahoot.
Yeah. And my chapter 3 is methodology, development and implementation of the Gibber's vocabulary model. I have created this model for the students. So Gibber's vocabulary model has actually 3 phases. The first phase is autonomous input. This is what students do at their home or at their home. For example, I gave the students some kind of task that can be used on their Quizlet platform, and they can do some kind of practice on it. On the second phase, algorithmic review. This is also happens at their home as a homework. They do Quizlet, but in the learn mode. The AI separates the words. They have some kind of difficulties to remember. And in the third
perfect the classroom output, but they can change the classroom. We're gonna play the game Kahoot, and high energy, it gives the high energy, low stake computation, and forces rapid lexical retrieval and provides the teacher with instant analytics. My chapter 4 is about the experimental framework. Actually, in order to experiment, I chose the school where I work. This is the school number 40 in Orange District, and I chose the secondary school students, like 4th graders, and they work 50. I have chosen two parallel groups. One is the control group, and the second one is the experimental group. So they have evaluated, like the control group uses, in control group I have used the traditional methods, like giving such kind of papers and just say remember that, and during the class we have used the class textbook. But in terms of experimental group, I have used this Quintet and Kahoot in order to teach vocabulary. And the assessment evaluated by a rigorous experiment and posted after the measured duration. In terms of qualitative analysis, lexical retention, as you can see, control group and experimental group, perhaps it shows like really identical scores, 42 and 44. But in terms of post-test results, we can see the high difference between the control and the experimental group. So in terms of qualitative impact and observation, the reduction in foreign language using Quizlet and Kahoot by digital platforms, reduction and foreign language anxiety. The gamified low-stake nature of Kahoot allows students to make errors freely and creating a safer environment. Increases learner autonomy. Quizlet teaches learner autonomy more because they can do more practice at their home without me as well. Enhanced motivation, instant feedback, visual progression, and competitive leaderboard gives the students more motivation to do the task again. Teacher data visibility. Real-time analytics allow the instructor to instantly identify widespread lexical gaps and adjust following the lesson accordingly. In conclusion, I can say that the integration of digital platforms like Quizlet and Kahoot is not merely an upgrading tool, but a fundamental shift towards a cognitive-aligned, data-driven, and highly resilient methodology for modern English acquisition and advancement. Thank you for your time and attention. I'm now open for your questions.
Thank you for the presentation. Now, Ms. Yamada would like to hear your questions, right?
Questions, I have one question. Now we are talking about the advantages of using Kahoot, Quizlet, and kind of things, and you did some experience. Yes? What about disadvantages?
Disadvantages of course, like as the point I clarified, like both pros and cons. Using digital platforms has also some disadvantages. For example, my difficulty during the experimentation is finding the digital tools on their age, because as they are only 10 years old, it takes my time to meet with parents and explain them to use some kind of like tools at their home. And also, as they are really younger, it has some problems with the attention, because there are so many pop-ups when you enter to some kind of website, internet pop-ups. That's why it can confuse the students when they are doing their homework.
Okay. What about in the class?
In the classroom,
what kind of?
I think there are no really like disadvantages. The one disadvantage is it can make some kind of noise during the classes, but this is also working as a positive point, because when they do some kind of noises or when they feel themselves somehow crazy, they can learn this can be a disadvantage for us. The noise can.
What about addiction?
Addiction.
Students can addict.
Yeah. As they are younger, it's on their like.
They are passionate about games.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. You have a question for them.
What is challenging for you while doing this kind of program?
I don't really find some kind of like challenges because I'm really interested in digital tools in the classroom especially. So that's why it's kind of fun for me to do some kind of research about especially Kahoot and quizzes because most of the time at university as well, during courses we have done so many times Kahoot and quizzes games. That's why I didn't find any difficulties with my
So I guess it's enough, right?
Yes.
Thank you, Gulnazar, for your great presentation.
Overall, I'll give 3 questions and plus 4.
We need to know, okay, right? Write your open questions, yeah? That is given before. Okay, okay? Havalarıyla notlarıyla. Kimin nasıl olacak? Okay, now we are going to give a chance to Nilüfer, right? So Nilüfer, you have only 10 minutes for presentation, okay? Follow this list, okay? You can start.
Good morning, dear teachers. Today I will be talking about English learning, teaching, engagement, and learning outside the classroom. I have many things to speak about. For example, coming with my research, first thing first, we should understand what is gamification. Gamification is the students need, for example, during the lesson, we give them like quizzes and Kahoot according to their knowledge, and it should be effective outside classroom English learning, and we start knowing your students. For example, you give your students such questions according to their knowledge. For example, clear learning profile shapes everything that follows, ensures engagement and meaningful. That should be for understanding for a student. And ask yourself the key question. If I give anything, students will understand or not. And you should take into account for their knowledge also. And the second thing is that design all of the classroom activities. Your games not only should be based on your fun or playing, but also it should be based on their knowledge. And for example, it should be related to their lesson. For example, if they learning some difficult subjects like grammar, vocabulary, or learning something, we should know their knowledge also. And in order to design all of the classroom activities, we should take into account choosing authentic material and align with learning objectives. For example, what is objective C? For example, it should be videos and computers or some speakers in order to enhance their knowledge. And the facilities engagement is where design meets reality, facilitating lunch, for example, lunching activities purposefully, and while you are giving such gamification, you have to not only give freedom, but also you have to check during the lesson what they are doing, or they are interesting or not interesting during the lesson. And the next step is assess learning outcomes. Assessment out of the classroom experience into measurable growth by reviewing learning outputs and gathering reflection, and teachers gain insight into which activities can be developed. For example, when you are giving something for students, you should see their results also in order to improve their knowledge. And the next thing is that students become more confident when you give this opportunity for doing the lesson, and you should give feedback and feel motivated in order to continue learning. And my research also showed that gamification increases classroom participants, such as reduced learning anxiety and tiredness when you are giving such games. And carefully when we are busy. And too much competition may discourage working students, and peer-free game elements should support learning objectives rather than replace them. And also, many research have concluded that the students learn better when they are emotionally involved in learning assessments. For example, several games are commonly taught, such as badges, computers, and some speakers. So, the next is this. I have collected some tips for successful English learning teaching engagement. And for example, we have to take into account whether they are made relevant or not, and feedback there and digital spaces. And when we are teaching some students, we also face and come across with common challenges. For example, every classroom program encounters obstacles, anticipating common challenges help teachers prepare effective solutions. As a teacher, we have come across with many challenges with students learning, and in order to maintain learning motivation, we have to include offer range of low and high pitch activities. We have to give easy and difficult according to their knowledge, and identify community resources like libraries and English speaking groups. We can organize such gamification outside the classroom or in the libraries or speaking clubs, and acknowledge and adapt learners for real world constants. And so the next step is ready to English engage your learners. So in order to organize our gamification during the lesson, we have to take into account that learners, how to engage learners. For example, start outside the classroom today, and small steps that students can gain.
You should talk about your research work. You are just doing so out of your topic. Main point is the main point. What about the conclusion of your research? Yeah.
So, my conclusion is students, in order to become students more confident, we have to take into account their knowledge, and furthermore their difficult. It will be like inside the gamification has become one of the most effective approach in modern English teaching, and it transforms traditional lessons and English learning experience and motivate students to participate in actively. And also, gamification has become challenges. It advances clearly always disadvantages when appropriately, and I hope that my research will be useful.
Okay. Thank you for the presentation. So, we have some questions. Ms. Muhammad. Okay, Ms. One. So, you mentioned about the classroom activities, right? In your research. So, how did you work on classroom activities? Because when you have different level students in the classroom, how did you separate them or you?
First thing first, I would select according to their knowledge. For example, I would not only give all topic, but in topic. It should be in topic, game-based learning. First, for example, if I teach students for the present simple, I will teach students by themselves. For example, going them out of the blackboard and give them question, and I will divide into you are that, you are do, like this, you are friends, like this. And I will involve, in the same time, I will play the game, and I will teach them in this way.
Okay. So I have a question. Beautiful. So what is actually gamification? What is the concept of gamification? Is this a game or is it a
It's not a game. Encourage students for the learning. For example, forget anxiety, tiredness during the lesson by giving them opportunity to play games, learning according to their, for example, lesson. Not only games, but also they will, it includes food and game crafts like this.
What types of do you have? Gamification have?
But
Is there some types of gamification?
it's overall things, for example, overall explanation of gamification is it.
Okay.
But there's no types for gamification.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. You did a great job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's start. Please, guys. Okay. Next presenter is Yokubu Silvara. Silvara, you will have a 10 minutes for present, okay? Follow the requirements, okay? So you can start.
Got it, teacher. Thank you. Good morning, dear committee members. My name is Sevara Yakubu. Let's begin our presentation. My graduation thesis topic is gamification as a method of motivating young learners in English language classes. The relevance and significance of this graduation thesis topic is that learning English is not merely acquiring a foreign language but a crucial skill necessary for active participation in the global information space and for remaining competitive in modern fields such as technology, science, culture, and business. Especially at the school level, in the process of developing user gamification in education that is equating with game, design, and game elements in learning environments plays an important role in increasing motivation and taking learners' intention and encouraging their continuous participation in the learning. The aim of the graduation is the task and hierarchy topic as following. The exam is the theoretical foundation of the gamification process to study the implementation of gamification in the educational process to determine the role of gamification in enhancing learner motivation and language learning, analyzing peculiarities of gamification-based language learning. The knowledge of the gamification which is developed in English language skills through gamification among primary school learners not only increase the effectiveness of language acquisition but also broader students work with communication, culture, and ability to work with information. The information presented in this particularly addresses theoretical aspects that have not yet been deeply analyzed in this field videos and can serve a guideline for the research, particularly for comparative studies and data analysis in future academic work. MBI framework and gamification divided per group. First, mechanics. The structure of the game included the PBL, trial, solve points, budget, learned borders, and time limited. Second, dynamics. Student behavior, how learners interact with the rules, creating, cooperating, and competition and strategic jingles. Three, authentic emotional response. The learners feeling thrilling, exciting, into joy, victory, and thrill of victory. Second, authentic material in gamified productions, different real-world materials, videos, spontaneous graphics, formats, stickers, notes. For teaching, role-play games using real manners, example, McDonald's. In virtual cafe games for students or points for objects in English, scavenger hunt using specific words inside authentic English, turning to total reading into a game. Thank you for listening.
Now you have finished, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you have 7 minutes, okay. Okay, in this case, we will have a questions and answer part. So, do we have a question? Yes, ladies, okay. Miss Namata Dragoso.
So you mentioned about CDL and time limitation and rule free. So could you tell me CDL?
PBL, okay. MBI framework in gamification divided three groups. So first, mechanics, the structure of the game including the PBL trade, points, badges, leaderboards, and time limited. Second, dynamic student behavior, how learners interact with the rules, creative, cooperative, competition, and strategic thinking. Third, authentic emotional response. The learners feeling thrilling, excitement, into joy, curiosity, and thrill of victory.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for your answer, but you should pay attention to your pronunciation as well, because you are near future, all students are near future will be language teachers, okay? Please pay attention. Thank you.
American pronunciation.
Okay. So, other questions?
No,
We have questions.
you haven't finished it yet.
Yeah.
Any questions? Wait.
Okay, Sarah, while doing or writing your diploma work, what kind of challenges did you come across? Or which part is more difficult for you? Practical or theoretical part? No, third part is practical part. Your diploma, I think, yes?
Okay.
Semakin além do próprio,
Ben bu bazı materyalleri işte onunla geçiyorum. Çünkü informasyonları beyan kurs ve okucularını yeterlikten kalçada ularını hangi uzatış objesini bir holatda materyalları verirken bazı uzunluğu kalçının bir holatta Amerika metodudan foydalanan holat istersen. PBL kısmını Amerika yani sonuçun Amerika'da McDonald's kafesizlerde cumhurlarga, xodimlarning harakatlariga, maktablarda o'quvchilarga nisbatan game activity'lar o'tkaziladi. Ya'ni turli xil fleshkartlar orqali ularda orqali savollar yoziladi va har bir o'quvchi ularga javob topishi kerak.
Okay. So, Sarah, you mentioned about a leaderboard, yeah? Leaderboard, yeah? Well, what is it? What kind of method is it? And then you tell about dramatic activities. So, what is it? Dramatic activities. Okay.
Ana shu sınıflardagi liderlarga sonuçun aktivite, fleshkartlarga ularning ismlari yoziladi. Ba'zi o'qishda 40 minut vaqt beriladi. Har bir o'quvchi do'stiga chiqqanida o'ziga tegishli fleshkartni tortadi va uni orqasida unga tegishli savol yoziladi. mana shunga javob bergan shaxs bingo ya'ni g'olib hisoblanadi, shu zo'r hisoblanadi.
Okay, it's enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hop, Mahfuna. Shadi is going to do it. And then Mahfuna left, right? Okay.
Good morning, dear teachers. My name is Shadi. My topic is advanced integration of movie subtitles in the learning language process.
Movie subtitles.
The use of subtitles in language learning process has gained significant attention in recent years due to the increasing availability of audiovisual material in digital media. Subtitles, when represented in the learner's first language, the target language are bilingually, serve as a support there. Enhance comprehension by providing simultaneous textual support alongside auditory input. Research indicates that subtitles can facilitate vocabulary acquisition, improve listening comprehension, and support reading skills, making them valuable tool in both formal and informal language learning contexts. Moreover, subtitles contribute to the reduction of cognitive loss by allowing learners to process linguistic information in multiple modes simultaneously. This dual channel processing combining visual and auditory stimuli enables learners to reinforce understanding logic, grammatical structure, and internalize pronunciation patterns more effectively. In addition, subtitles can increase learners' motivation and engagement by providing immediate textual feedback and supporting autonomy and language learning. In this section, the discussion will focus on the various pedagogical advantages of using subtitles, highlighting empirical evidence and theoretical perspective and underlying their role in facilitating second language acquisition. One of the primary advantages of using subtitles in language learning is their contribution to vocabulary acquisition and retention. Subtitles provide learners the continuous exposure to written form of words and phrases while simultaneously hearing their pronunciation in context. This dual exposure facilitates the creation of stronger lexical representation in the learner's memory, enhancing both cognition and recall. In particular, your learners encounter new vocabulary repeatedly in audiovisual context. They are more likely to internalize meaning and use patterns, leading to more probable attention. For example, voice skills or visual clips with subtitles allow learners to associate auditory input with textual format. When the same word or phrase appears multiple times, the repetition reinforces memory, traces, and supports the development of automaticity in word recognition. Moreover, bilingual subtitles can further aid understanding by providing immediate equivalence, which is particularly beneficial for power proficiency learners who may struggle to infer meaning from context alone. Empirical studies support this observation. Creation highlighted that comprehensible input such as that provided through subtitles audiovisual materials intensive vocabulary learning by allowing learners to acquire new words naturally without vocabulary learning by allowing learners to acquire new words. Additionally, Patrick and Webb found their learners exposure to subtitles videos demonstrated significantly better vocabulary retention than peers who relied solely on audio input, emphasizing the role of visual reinforcement in lexical learning subtitles. Despite the widely acknowledged benefits of subtitles in foreign language learning, their use isn't without certain disadvantages and limitations. While subtitles can support comprehension, vocabulary acquisition, and listening skills, exercise or on which to rely on them may lead to unintended pedagogical challenges. Therefore, it is essential to approach subtitles using as an inherently beneficial tool rather than learners' aid whose effectiveness depends on context, learners' proficiency, and instructional decision. One of the primary concerns raised in academic literature is the potential for reduced listening attention. Learners may prioritize reading subtitles over processing spoken language, which can limit their development of authentic listening skills and phonological awareness. This issue becomes particularly evident when subtitles presented in the learner's first language. The compression might rely more heavily on reading rather than auditory input. Additionally, subtitles may increase cognitive load, especially for lower level learners who are required to process auditory input, written text, and visual information simultaneously.
You're reading to me. You need to talk about your main point of view for this. So here, so could you conclude your research?
Conclusion.
Your conclusion, your own conclusion. So, do you have conclusion?
Yes.
Okay, what is it?
What have you learned from your qualification program? Shortly. What have you learned?
I have learned subtitles of movies. Subtitles have
Itu mas mampu dari mana nyari kelgusindagi faoliyatlarga tushunma oldingiz. Bunaqa tezda bu, bunaqa bo'ladigan emas, yaxshi emas. Mayli, xo'p, o'zingiz uchun kasbiy faoliyatingizdagi qo'llash uchun nimani oldingiz?
Subtitrlarning foydali taraflari bu mobilda subtitr bo'layotganda studentlar ham listening skilli hamda reading comprehensionini oshirishga yordam beradi. Buning advanced taraflaridan biri bu studentlarga kognitiv yuk bo'lmas ekan.
Ekan emas, ertaga aytmayapsiz.
Kognitiv yuk bo'lmaydi.
Hop.
Hamda subtitrlarda studentlar ko'rish orqali so'zlarni yozilishi va unda eshitish orqali pronunciationlarini Estoniyaning o'rganadi. Endi bu subtitrning disadvantage taraflaridan biri bu o'quvchilarda listening skill yaxshi bo'lmagan o'quvchilarda asosiy e'tibor readingda bo'lib qolar ekan va bu o'quvchilarga kognitiv yuk tushirasan. Advanced tarafda yuk tushirmaydi, kognitiv yuk bo'lmaydi. Disadvantage tarafda esa kognitiv yuk bo'lar ekan.
Kognitiv yuk degani nima degani? Menimcha video live example disadvantage limitation'da demoqchi edim. Oldin qoldi shunday chiqdi. It's a real life example deyilgan shu limitation of subtitle use. Shunga qiziqib turdim, bu ketib qoldim olgan gaplar bilan. The real life example demoqchi edim. Hozir qiziq ekan to'g'risi. Qanday o'tirdi? Balki bo'lmaydi. Anaqalarni yaxshi qilaman. Rejalarga zo'r ekan. Faqat o'sha disadvantage limitation menga qiziq bo'ldi. Ilmiy topshiriq. Shunga qiziqyapman. Balki izlayapman endi. Odamlar menga kelib qolarkan, unisini bo'lmay qolarkan dedingda qabul so'rab. Shunga bir qanaqadir
Masalan, men o'zimda ham listening juda zo'rman. Masalan, kurslarga bordim. Bizga ham o'sha active listening va passive listening deyishadi. Qiynalgan paytimda shunday subtitrlarni yoqib olaman. Lekin o'shanda bor e'tiborim shu subtitrda bo'lib qoladi, readingni unda eshitmayman.
Bu how can teachers reduce bo'lyapti endi this limitation in the classroom bo'lyapti.
Kognitiv yuk nima degani? Kognitiv yuk bo'lar ekan, shu. O'zi kognitiv nima degani?
Eshitmas ekanda reading o'qirkan bu talaba uchun kognitiv yuk qolarkan dedik.
Bir tarafdan o'zgartirishga qiyinchilik bo'ladi.
Talabaga qiyinchilik bo'ladi. Ikki tomonlama teng eshitsa, ma'muriylik, amaliy teng o'qitish qiyin dedi. Adabiyotda hech kim beryapti. Bu o'ta katta muammo keldi o'sha. Mayli, javob bo'ldi dedim ekan. Bunda qiyinchilik bo'ladi. Unga nima yo'llar examen beramiz? Masalan, men foydalanmoqchiman, talabalarga mana qiyinchilikni aytdingiz. Endi nima uchun qo'yib beryapman, nima uchun beryapman?
Vokabularni and listening skill'ni ko'paytirishda yordam beradi.
Ikkalasini teng o'qilolmaydi, qattiq bo'ladi. O'zi mana ko'rganingizda shunday multfilm deylik, yoki qanaqa remix nimadir bo'lsa.
Ko'raman. Lekin qiynalgan paytimda
Yetimdan qo'yilgan situation, demak, sizga nimadir kerak, yaxshiroq tushunish uchun subtitlni keng ko'rib olib, keyin subtitlni yoki subtitlni o'rgantirib, keyin alohida subtitlni tushunish mumkin. Chunki bu paytda o'zida the same time it will be difficult for the person if you watch. Chunki siz bor e'tiboringizni yozuvga qaratganingizda film o'tib qoladi. To'g'ri, film ko'rganingizda to'g'ri
bir dizer beceriye fakat o düşünmeye için farmayanı tanıtlar başında muhakkelidir. Sizler yerde etmeyi ilken deneyimliler. Aslında biz ilken dediği gaz zeytin kırmaya size çok hava. Peki yaxşı.
Mağlup
yana tilimiz deb borgan. Bu faqat o'zbekcha sayli deydi. Shuni birinchiligini bilsanglar. O'sha savol o'zbekcha sayli. Mutaxassis bo'lib chiqyapti. Bir dunyoga borib gapirdi. Yigirmata bolani oldida o'sha so'zga oldida chiqadi. Qanaqa? Mayli, uni rivojlantirib bo'ladi. Ikkinchi e'tiroz. Gapimiz ichida tizimdan ishlari, reading skillari, comprehension, listening skillari. O'zbekchani ichida angliyski, na o'zbekcha, na inglish. Bu degani o'zlish. Mixed language. O'zlish. Dazda o'zlish nomli biz. O'zlish degani bormi? No, nothing. Nothing. Yoki o'zbekcha gapirishing. Yoshina inglizcha.
Mayli maqsadlar, okey. Izlash va navbat izlash va maqsadlarga beramiz. Navbatda sizlar reglamentga qo'llab qilib, 10 minutda asosiy qismlarni o'qimay, asosiy qismlarni gapiring.
Good morning, dear teachers and other students. I would like to present my graduation within the title of this is authentic material and a means to improve motivation and language proficiency among university learners. In my presentation, I will explain the purpose of my course, the main ideas, the methods I use, and the results of the study. I hope you will find my presentation interesting and useful. This is in-depth study of the method of using real-life materials, the eco-fuel method among scholars who have studied the pedagogical foundation of teaching English as a foreign language. It covers topics such as the theoretical origins of this method, the influential scholars who formed it and their ideas, the strengths and limitation of the method. The main attention is paid to the models developed in this field by the famous British linguist Henry George Peterson. His contribution to the development of this pedagogical method and his noteworthy ideas. This thesis also focuses on research and results of scholars such as Frederick Mission, David Noonan, etc. Morley and how their conclusions can be used. In addition, the graduation thesis presents realistic, effective and specific lessons developed based on the above foreign language teaching methods, as well as strategies for delivering the topic to the learner and discussing their advantages. Language usage represents abstract knowledge of linguistic forms and thresholds. standard grammatical rules. Use references to practical ability to display linguistic for actual communicative purposes, identifying verb tenses or vocabulary items, and newspaper editorial remains limited to language usage. Evaluating an author's position and connecting arguments to personal experiences constitutes language users. Advanced proficiency requires pedagogical tasks that transition students from manipulation to active interpretation. Methods of applying authentic materials in ELC classroom. We have developed a framework of applying authentic materials in ELC classroom adapted for developing specific skills like reading, listening, or speaking. Authentic materials. Material type. Academic articles relevant to students' files. Activity group summarize sections, then recombine to reconstructible articles. Skills developed reading comprehension, summarization, translating information. Motivation aspects. Related materials to students' academic goals, prompting engagement. Classroom benefits, in-person collaboration and active processing of complex text. Elements, material type, authentic audio, interview, discussions, lectures, activity, listen, take notes, discuss, in small groups, reflective writing. Skills developed, listening, comprehension, vocabulary, expression, critical thinking. Motivation, effects, current and relevant content, innovation, engagement.
Authentic material students, university students, what is challenging for you? In the same movement is çalıştı. Kendini kapışkanı, ne kendini kapışıyor. Biz bu zaman yorumlarla yok, ne kadar maya var? Bu zaman yapıyoruz. Neden bir bölge
Mazlum içinde kendisi yolda, yazmış sınıf kararındaki
teknik hatalar.
teknik hatalar var.
Ya siz özünüz nima qiynaldingiz, nima qiyinchilik bo'ldi mana universitet talabalarini qiyin narsa nima bo'ldi mana shu ishda?
Üniversite talabalar o'rtasida menga qiyin bo'lgani motivatsiyalar ishlash. Bitta talabaga qanaqadir gapirayotganda yo boshqa payt noto'g'ri yoki shunday gapim bo'lsa, hamada ruhiyat xavfsiz bo'lgani uchun tushib ketadi. Harakat qilishdan ketishdi,
gapiradi. Masalan shunday mixed ability o'qiymiz maktabda ham bor, bog'chada ham bor, litsey, kollejda ham, universitetda ham mixed ability. Kimdir masalan reading kuchli, qaysi tomon kuchli bo'ladi. Endi o'sha metodologik bo'yicha berganda avtentiklarga tanlashda nima bo'ladi?
Speaking.
Okay.
Speaking.
Mana fikirdingiz bittatimizga bizda nechtata biology student o'tiribdi, o'quvchilar har xil ayrimizda B1, ayrimizda A1, ayrimizda A2. Endi o'shalarga qanaqa bir xil o'yin o'ynata olmaymiz, to'g'rimi? Mana qanday o'yin?
Oldi ularni narsasini bila olaman.
Darajasini
aniqlab olaman. Keyin unga qarab, keyin o'zbek aralashtirib, yo birinchi ingliz tilida gapirib, keyin o'zbek tilida tushuntirib berib, birinchi ularni darajasini aniqlab olishga harakat qilaman. Xarakter xususiyatlariga kelib chiqib gapirib.
üçüncü tuğsun size yapacağım. Bunu size başka soracağım. Bana bir oldu diye. yaxshi ekan. Bu juda zo'r.
Mana oxiriga topshirgansiz baba.
Juda zo'r.
E'tiroz bo'lsa hozir
Hurmatli bitiruvchi talabalarimiz, shuningdek kelganinglar bilan tabriklayman hammani. Judayam speechinglar yaxshi bo'ldi. Endi men xafaman, qayerlarda slaydda ishlamagansiz. Biz sizlardan boshqa narsa kutgandik, lekin boshqa narsa bo'lib chiqdi. Taqdimot qilishni, prezentatsiya qilishni yaxshi bilardinglar. Lekin ba'zi joylarda o'rinsiz taqdimot bo'ldi. Bu safar bunaqa xato qilmayman. Okay? Hop, speech berayotganda oldindan tayyorgarlik ko'rib, ish ichiga kirib, yaxshilab taqdimot qilishini so'rardi. No, o'shanda bo'lsa ham sizlarni ruhlantirishga, motivatsiya berishga harakat qilamiz. Faqat bu baholarimiz shartli baho bo'ladi. Hozir mana YouTube'dan yozyapti. Bayonnomaga ham kiritamiz. Mana bilasizlar, kotiboyalar bayonnomaga kiritiladi, YouTube'dan yozyapti. Kamchiliklarni, dissertatsiyalaringlardagi kamchiliklarni, bu malakaviy ishlardagi kamchiliklarni 100% to'liq qilib bersangina bu baho haqiqiy hisoblanadi. Agar kamchiliklar o'z vaqtida bartaraf etilmasa, mana shu bahoni kengash a'zolari o'zgartirish nimasiga ega, vakolatiga ega. Xo'p, birinchi Oqila 5, Aziza 5, Muhayyo 5, Gulnoza 5, Shodiya 4, Nilxon 5, Sevara 5, Maftuna 4 baholar bilan belgiladik. Shuningdek, agar kamchiliklarni to'g'rilamasangiz, YouTube yozyapti, bayonnomaga ham kiritim, bir balldan ayirishga huquqimiz bor. Shunlarga omad yor bo'lsin, ishlaringizga rivoj. Agar biror bir fikringiz bo'lsa, marhamat. E'tirozlaringiz bo'lsa, hozir aytishingiz mumkin.
Rozimizda qo'yganida
o'zbekistonliklarning maqsudi juda yaxshi bilib turibdi, to'g'rimi? U
Riyozda o'zi shartli beshogalar ham
bor. Bu shartli beshogalar ham bor.
Sevaraga ham shartli besh qo'ydik, to'g'ri. Endi Shodiyaga ham qo'yishimiz mumkin edi, lekin Shodiya siz o'zingizni bitiruv malakaviy o'zingizga bitta sizga savol berdim, xolos, hech kimga nafas qilmayotgandim. İşte javobingizni ham bir-biriga nafas qilib bera olmayapsizda ishingizda.
Bu bahoni o'zicha qo'yilmaydi. Taqdimotiga, o'z-o'zicha qo'yilmaydi. Buni qilingan taqdimotga va speechiga, savollarga javob berishiga qarab turib bahoni belgilaydi. Bu 5 degani bu dostойный ham emas, shaxsiy qo'yamiz, bilasizlar. Tushunadigan o'rtoqlar. Kamchiliklarni bartaraf etib qo'yasizlar, keyin mana bu baho belgisi uchun. Okay? Omad yor bo'lsin, ishlaringlarga rivoj. Mana shunaqa nimada yana so'chlarga kirishinglar, magistratura, doktorantura, postdoktoral, professor, akademik, dotsent, barcha unvonlarga erishib, endi kunga hissa qo'shadigan bir yetuk bir kadr bo'lib yetishinglar. Omad yor bo'lsin.